Hi Amy, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you very much. Let's talk about your lesson for last lesson. What did we carry on last lesson? What do you do?
We did cockpit drill
Okay.
and a little bit of moving up and stopping
Okay.
and one left turn.
Okay. So how did the moving up and stopping went?
Okay, I think.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay, that's fine. So what routine did we use to move off and stop then?
MSPSL.
Okay, the MSPSL we used. Well done. What else? What other routine did we use then for moving off?
The full checks from left to right.
Okay.
Because we pulled up on the...
Well done on that. That's right. Well done on that. So before we checked, what do you have to do then?
Cockpit drill.
After the cockpit drill, what do you have to do?
Start the car.
Start the car. Well done. So think about moving off again, right? You just say we have to look around, which is really, really good. Well done on that. But before we look around, what do you have to do with the car? Do we need to prepare the car?
Yeah.
What's the routine called then? It's not MSPS routine. That's for the left hand.
MSM.
MSM for pulling up on the left-hand side. Well done on that again. What about, do you remember the POM routine?
Yes.
Yes. So what does POM stand for?
Position.
Position can be, but think about it a bit more. I mean, would it be the position first, or do you have to do something else with the car, with the P?
Prepare.
Prepare. Okay, good girl. So how would you prepare the car then for moving off?
Getting it into first gear.
Good.
Making sure that all your mirrors are in the right place.
Good. Okay. So that's part of it, but the preparation is more likely, I'm going to explain that to you now, is that for the POM routine we use P for preparation, clutch down, first gear, set the gas, find it right. That's the preparation bit. Okay. So we do the preparation, then you talked about the observation, like you do observation. Where do you have to start your observation from?
If you pulled up on the left-hand side, from the left to the right.
Right, to move off. Okay. And what's the final check do you have to do before you move off?
Your blind spot on your route.
Why is it important for?
To make sure that there's nothing coming behind you.
Okay. And do you need to signal all the time to move out?
Only if there's someone there that you need to notify of your action.
And if there's no one, then do we need to signal?
No.
No. Well done on that. So do you want to look at today's like moving up on stop again, or we did talk about last lesson was I briefed you on the left turning from major to a minor turn. Do you want to still talk about that, or do you want to go and have a look at this moving up and stopping again?
Do a little bit of the moving up and stopping.
Okay. Just make improve. Okay.
Yeah, just make sure that I'm kind of comfortable with it, and then a little bit of left turning as well.
Okay.
If you have time.
That's fine. Hopefully we should have a bit of time because this road is quite quiet, so we could move off and stop first of all, and then we could carry out the left turning as well. Let's talk about this left turning again. So last week we talked about from major to a minor, so we're turning on. So can you still remember the routine that to turn left?
MSPSL.
Good, that's MSPSL, we need that. Okay, so just talk me through. So imagine you're driving now, we're turning left. So what's the first thing you have to do?
Check your mirrors.
Which two mirrors do you have to check?
If you're turning left, centre left.
Why do you have to check the centre first for?
To make sure if there's anything behind you and that it's safe to perform the manoeuvre.
Good. And why do you check the left mirror? What are you looking for in this mirror?
Anything that's close by to the car, so any pedestrians or cyclists or anything like that.
Good. What's the next thing you have to do then? How will you tell the drivers or people or surrounding that you're turning left?
Signal.
Good. So with the signal, I mean, how far away do you have to signal from a junction, do you think, from turning? How many car lengths?
Between 6 and 7 car lengths.
Okay, well done on that. Why do you have to do 6 and 7 car length away for?
To give enough time for the drivers behind you to allow you to know what you're doing, so they can make what's the word I'm looking for? Decent actions to make sure that you're safe to do what you're doing.
Good. Well done on that. What's the next thing you have to do? So we got the mirrors, we got the signal. Position, okay. So for a left turning, how do you have to position yourself?
You stay kind of in the centre of your lane.
Kind of, how would you know you stayed in the centre of your lane?
By looking at the bonnet and your what's the word?
Reference point.
Reference
is what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Okay. And why is it important to maintain that position for a left turning?
Because there might be something on your left side, so you don't want to be going over to the side, but also because you don't want other drivers overtaking you.
Good. So, I mean, say if you're turning left at your position, just asking, if you go slightly to the left as you're turning, what could happen?
Hit the curb.
You hit the curb. Okay. So what some people do is that they start moving to the left a little.
Yeah.
But then you can best to maintain your normal driving position. Well done on that. So mirror signal position. What's the next thing you have to do then?
Speed.
Speed. Okay. And speed. What do you have to do with the speed then?
Reduce it.
Reduce it. Okay. So once you do it, so imagine you're in a high gear. Which gear do you have to drop it down to once you have reduced the speed?
So if you're in gear 2, you drop it down to gear 1.
Okay. Do you need to drop it down to number 1 to turn left always, or
Not all the time.
Okay. So imagine you're in a high gear. Say if you're in a 3rd or 4th gear,
Yeah.
as you're dropping the speed down. Now you're in a high gear. Which gear do you have to drop it down if it's quite clear to turn?
Turn.
2. Okay. Once you drop the gears, you put the clutch down, obvious, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you have to do with the clutch? Do you keep it down or bring it up again?
Bring it up slowly.
Okay. And if you keep it down and turn, what do you call that?
Coasting.
Coasting. I will not to coast.
No.
No. Okay. And do you understand the danger of coasting?
Yes.
Okay. Good. So you bring the clutch up, and what's the last thing you have to do then? How would you know it's safe to turn?
Look.
Look. Okay. What are you looking at?
Into the road that you're turning into.
Good. What are you looking into the road for?
Anyone that's there that's wanting to cross, or cars that are coming towards you. If you've got cars parked on the side of the road.
Good. And if there is someone standing by the junction, I mean, what's the rule says now then?
That you have to wait for them to cross.
Okay, good. Do you need to slam the brake at that point?
No.
Okay. So we need to plan this earlier.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. And how would you know when to turn?
Your reference points. So you look at where the curb meets your car and you turn with it.
Okay, good. And once you're into the new road,
Yeah.
for example, what's the routine do you have to carry out then?
I can't remember the letters,
Okay,
but you've got to make sure that
Yeah.
you've got to check your mirrors and cancel your signal if it's still going.
Okay, so we call this MSM routine.
Yeah.
Okay. So we check your mirrors. So
Yeah.
which mirror do you have to check at this point?
Centre right,
Good. And if the signal's still on, what do you have to do?
cancel it.
And then make a progress basically if it's safe to do so. Well done on that. Now with this routine, I mean, we done last week, we done a few times I think. So how much help do you want from me today's lesson for this left turning?
Not too much.
Okay.
I want to give it kind of a go on my own, see if I'm
Okay.
comfortable doing it.
Okay. That's fine.
But then if I need any help,
Yeah.
then just...
Well, I'm here. I've got
Yeah.
dual control here, so I can
Yeah.
use that for you if I need to and help you for
Yeah.
that. Okay. But I would like you to use them yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. Out of the MSPSA routine, anything that you're struggling that you need to tell me that, okay, today's lesson I've been struggling doing that. Could you keep an eye on that, or anything that
I just need to make sure that I'm checking the right mirrors, because I'm right-handed. Everything I've
Right,
always
okay.
done is always my right.
Right,
So I
okay.
tend to check my centre right even if we're turning left.
Okay. So,
So I need to make sure I check my left one.
do you want me to
instead.
prompt you or guide you or let you see if you're doing it by yourself?
See if I'm doing it by myself.
Okay.
And if I do it wrong, then tell me.
Okay, that's fine. That's all, dear. Thanks for that. Okay, we'll go and have a look at that today. So, and last thing I was going to say, although we done major to minor, we done T-junction as well.
Yes.
Last thing I was going to ask you, do you still remember open and closed junction?
Yes.
Okay, so how would you know if it's a closed junction as you're approaching?
If you can't see into the roads, the road that you're progressing into,
Good. And for a closed junction, which gear do you have to select as you're approaching?
turn one.
Which one? I don't know. Which one do you think? Well, if you
One.
Why one?
Because you can't see into where you're going.
Right,
You
okay.
need to make sure that you're able to stop safely
And
if you need to stop.
Good. And what kind of observation do you have to do? Where do you have to set your observation for a left turning as you're turning into, emerging into a traffic?
Right.
What are you looking right for?
Any traffic that's coming to you.
Good. And what other place you have to look? So you turn it looking right, and what else?
And also left.
And just before you try to
Right,
turn
left,
it.
right.
Good. So what's the minimum observation is right?
Right, left, right.
Good go. And the last thing I was going to say, open junction again.
Yeah.
So how would you know it's an open junction then?
If you can see into the road that you're progressing into.
Okay. And we talked about the gear. So closed junction for one gear, and
Yeah.
which gear would you select for open junction if it's clear?
Two if it's safe to.
Okay. Do you need to stop at every open junction?
Not if it's safe to go and there's no traffic there.
Do you need to stop on every closed junction then? Just want to know that as well.
Not completely stop. If it's relatively safe to do so, and you can see into the road once you've gradually got up to the reference points. If it's safe to do so, then you can just carry straight on,
Well done
unless
with
it
that.
says stop.
Unless it says stop. So
Yeah.
stop sign, you have to stop. Good girl. last thing I was going to ask you, so if you come into a closed junction, for example, like if we do need to stop,
Yeah.
how would you know when to stop? And how would you know you have an overshoot with the giveaway line, or you've not stopped too early?
So you line it up with your side mirror. The lines that are on the road, you line them up.
Is that the giveaway line you're talking about?
The
That is a
on the
giveaway
road,
line.
yeah.
So the giveaway line has to be underneath your door for this car.
Yeah.
Okay. And it varies for every people. You know that. Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. So if you overshoot it, where you can end up is,
Into the new road.
and if you stop too early, what's going to happen? What's the consequence on that?
You won't be able to see into the roads, but also you'll be a danger to the people behind you.
So it's going to restrict your view definitely, and the main danger is that somebody's behind is going to
Go into the back of you.
go. So we just need to maintain that reference. But
Yeah.
well done on that. So that's good. So what we do is that we'll have a look at this left turning,
Yeah.
and also we look at some couple of T-junction. I'll keep an eye on the mirrors that you said.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I don't think so. Making sure I put the clutch all the way down.
Okay, yes. Yeah, that's very important. If you don't put the clutch all the way down, what could happen?
You break the gearbox.
You could break the gearbox, you damage the gearbox, okay? So how would you know when to put the clutch down then?
If you was changing gears,
Yes, okay. So as the car slows down quite a bit, what do you have to do?
change gears,
Change gears and put the
clutch all the way
clutch
down.
all the way down. Okay, so I'll keep an eye on the clutch as well and the mirrors for you. Anything else? Okay, so we're going to have a look at that then. Thank you for that.
No
Cheers, thank
problem.
you.